The gentlewoman yields back. I now recognize the gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Johnson, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. As a member of Congress serving the city of Dallas, you can see I'm very interested in the FIFA World Cup. And this will bring in millions of dollars of revenue for small businesses and surrounding communities and millions of new visitors to the North Texas area and from around the world. We are thrilled to be hosting 9 matches, which is the largest amount of matches in the country. We're also the broadcast hub for the FIFA World Cup. And so it's going to become not only a unique, it's a sustained security need that we have, because we're going to have media professionals throughout the world in the city for a prolonged period of time, not just for the unique timelines of the matches themselves. I was thrilled to have the opportunity to travel with you, Mr. Chairman, to New Orleans and with some of my colleagues on this committee in advance of the Super Bowl. And we saw an immense amount of planning that goes into these events to keep attendees safe. Meanwhile, Secretary Noem and President Trump are expected to propose significant cuts to the FEMA preparedness grants and funding that is critical for major event security. The proposed budget also eliminates the National Domestic Preparedness Consortium, which has trained thousands of emergency response teams. In just my district alone, they have trained almost 12,000 participants. These programs not only train our local first responders at no cost to them or our cities, but also partner with the Center for Domestic Preparedness, FEMA, and other governmental agencies. When we do not have adequate funding to keep these programs afloat, we will not have the workforce to keep the public safe. By cutting funding to these programs, this administration is setting our cities up for failure and putting the lives of attendees and our security personnel at risk. The World Cup is anticipated to bring in more than 6 million visitors from around the world in a time where cybersecurity workforce is significantly understaffed and cyber attacks are on the rise. Illegal freezes on grant funding and TSA agents are being terminated, and we need to take a serious look at how prepared we actually are at just 1 year before the event takes place. I look forward to working alongside my colleagues to ensure every step of the way. And Mr. Chairman, I'm just really concerned that this Congress right now, while having this hearing is fabulous, we need to focus on the security of our country. We want to have a successful Olympics. We want to have a successful World Cup. And we had the chance to see up close and personal just how much goes into the planning of the Super Bowl. It was an enlightening experience to see just the effort, the expense, and the coordination that's required amongst so many agencies. And while we're shining that, we're talking about it, which is fabulous. But on the other hand, in this very building, in the rules debate in our Capitol, we're having a budget that guts all the funding for it. So how can we do that? How can we gut all the funding and then still say we are prioritizing this security? So, gentlemen, my question for you is, what potential threats do you see, and do you have enough resources? Do you think that we have allocated enough resources for this country and the visitors to come here to be safe when they come for World Cup?
Congresswoman, whether it's the World Cup, the Super Bowl, a large festival, or a smaller festival, we all share the same concerns. What's concerning at this moment is the threat persists from UAS, and at this time, the thresholds are too high. The authority to act upon the threats are very limited, and we just need a streamlined process to help facilitate the protection that is warranted.
I want to ask you a question about that. So at a different hearing, or actually maybe when we were in New Orleans, one of the things that was brought up to us was the lack of local law enforcement's ability to actually deal with the drones. You had to go through just this crazy red tape in order to take down a potential threat. Is that still in place? Has that been corrected? And are you aware of efforts on the table to correct that?
So the FAA Reauthorization Act was a step in the right direction, but it is implemented inconsistently across all the different events. And having the ability to work with venues, to work with our law enforcement partners, to be able to successfully apply for a TFR is challenging. And then whether or not the federal resources are available from the agencies, and then whether or not FAA approves. It's a complicated process that really needs some attention to streamline and make more consistent across all the events.
Do you feel, and it's Live Nation, you see lots of stuff, I can only imagine, and you see all the things. So besides, drones, and besides this lack of coordination between the agencies to give the men on the ground the ability to deal with an immediate threat, besides that issue, what other security threat issues are you concerned with, in particular to these large-scale events that are coming up?
Yeah, of course. It's homegrown violent extremists, it's terrorism, it's just crime in general. Managing large crowds, it's all the things that my colleagues have spoken about today, and making sure that we have coordinated, collaborated plans in partnership with all of our stakeholders to include federal, state, and local partnerships. And we're all singing from the same sheet of music with planning, operations, and response.
Yes, and then at the same time, we're laying off record numbers of FBI agents, and we're going to make our country less safe. Gentlemen, I think my time has expired, and thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentlewoman from Texas yields back. I thank Sheriff Barnes, Mr. Junell, and Mr. Hammond for their valuable testimony, and the members for their questions. The members of the subcommittee may have some additional questions for the witnesses, and we would ask the witnesses to respond to these in writing. Pursuant to Committee Rule 7D, the hearing record will be held open for 10 days. Without objection, this subcommittee stands adjourned.